Hey, I'm Allen Helton from Momento. Let's talk about our game Flappy Mo. Flappy Mo is a version of a popular game from 2013 called Flappy Bird. Flappy Bird is a game where you navigate through pipes as they appear on screen. It's a simple yet incredibly frustrating game. This version is the exact same, except multiplayer and built on Momento. To be multiplayer, we need to add a couple of components outside of the standard gameplay: player tracking and session synchronization. This is where Momento comes into play. Momento has a remote centralized cache and notification service accessible from anywhere: server side, client side, Android apps, iPhone apps, even directly inside of your browser. When you open up the game, you're asked to input your username. When you come up with a good one, Momento will issue you an auth token with your username baked into it. This allows us to uniquely identify the actions that you take in the game. To track the active players, we use a set cache item. A set is an array of distinct values. We use this data type because in the event that a login request is sent more than once, we don't want duplicate player names in the game. So no matter how many times you add a specific value to a set, it's only ever going to appear once. To register a player in this cache set, a beacon is sent out when the game is loaded. And conversely, when the user is done playing, another beacon is sent out to remove that person from the cache set. A beacon is an asynchronous and non-blocking call to a web server. We opted for a beacon over a traditional API call because we needed to call this on the unload event of the screen. The unload event doesn't really wait for calls. It only does fire and forget, which is what a beacon is. So now that we have our list of players, we can move on to the actual gameplay. In order to get everybody playing together in a meaningful way, the games all need to start at the same time. To do this, we have a Lambda function that's running every 30 seconds. This function randomizes game details like gravity, jump height, speed, and pipe spacing, and then publishes those details to Momento Topics. This message sent to Momento Topics contains all the random game details and is sent to all the players in the game in a fan-out pattern. All of the players in the game receive that message real time, update the game state, and then trigger a countdown to start the game. During the countdown, the client will read the player set from the cache directly in the browser. Then, it'll update the players in the game by adding the new ones and removing the ones who left. When the game starts, we have to keep the state in sync across all the players. To do this, we use Momento Topics to publish a message whenever a player jumps. In this message, we send the player velocity and their current y-coordinate. The message is received by all players in the game in real time for them to update their state appropriately. Movement is calculated on the client, so we can get away with sending the velocity and the y-coordinate in the message. Since Momento Topics delivers messages to all subscribers with single-digit millisecond latency, players can see each other move in real time, creating a fun and engaging experience. To do this, all we needed to do was subscribe to the player movement topic in the browser when we signed in. As part of the onClick handler, when a user is playing the game, we publish our velocity and coordinates to that movement topic, and we're done. No backend services or WebSocket connections. Just publish and subscribe. This same pattern can be used to implement any sort of synchronization between browser sessions, be it in-game chat or scoring updates. 2 simple API calls in your browser and you're done. Doesn't really get any easier than that. Momento makes building massive applications at scale a breeze. We focus on developer productivity and helping you move as fast as possible. We take care of the infrastructure, scaling events, networking, and data management. You focus on the business problem. Happy coding!